What's up, Bailey's fans? Back with another recap. Today, we're going to do highlights in this one, so I'm going to be recapping highlights. During the highlights, they're not in order, so I'm going to start off with the Orioles, then the Red Sox, Rays, Yankees, and then the Blue Jays. The highlights will not be in order, so just to let you know, they won't be in order. Just want heads up. Trevor Rogers and Jackson Holliday are going to be cover athletes today, this thumbnail. And for tomorrow, we're going to do the Rays. Okay, let's jump right into the recap. I'll see you on the other side. Let's start in Baltimore with the Orioles taking down the White Sox 5-3. Baltimore moves to .500 and completes the sweep, so yeah, they handled business. Kyle Bradish gets the win with the bullpen knocking it down late. They finished with 5 runs on solid hitting and timely offense. Taylor Ward with 4 hits out of his 5 at-bats, 1 single and 3 doubles. All the runs multiple runs scored by Gunnar Henderson, and Adley with the only other run. No. Sorry about that. Adley and Dylan Beavers both had runs. Dylan on a sacrifice fly and Adley on a RBI ground out. And that's key timely because Chicago actually had chances, but they left runners on base like it was part of the game plan. At one point, it felt like they were just collecting base runners for fun, and if they were going to stay in the game, they needed runs, and that did not help. And Baltimore took advantage of the mistakes, simple as that. This wasn't domination, but it was controlled offensive game plan. Very good pitching, but one very lazy error by Kyle Bradish, who missed the ball on a throw back from Adley Rutschman, where he missed the catch. Threw it to home plate on a very lazy throw, allowed Chase Mydroff to score. Very lazy play by Kyle Bradish. Don't know what he was thinking, but he scored. We still ended up winning. Baltimore is second in the division right now. Next up in their road trip, or not on the road trip, their next home game it's a home game against the San Francisco Giants. And because of the San Francisco Giants is on a Friday night, so Baltimore will be wearing their new color alternate jerseys. So be excited to see those in play next game. Baltimore with the orange-white mixed color, more whitish with green sleeves. Really cool. We can't wait to see that in the game. And I can't wait to recap that game because Orioles will be debuting with those jerseys, and hopefully they get Jackson Holliday and Jordan Westbrook back soon. That's it for the Orioles. Let's move on to the Yankees. Yankees versus Athletics. Athletics win 3-2. Now the Yankees, and yeah, this one is bad. They lost 3-2 to the Athletics. And here's the crazy part. They both scored both runs in the first inning and then nothing. Zeros over the final 8 innings. That's actually insane. They finished with just 4 hits total. 4. And you're not winning games like that. The A's had 9 hits and just kept applying pressure. Jeff McNeil had 9 hits. Jeff McNeil led the way, going 2 for 4 with an RBI, and the A's had 9 hits and just kept applying pressure. In the turning point, the 4th inning, a wild pitch ties the game when the A's take the lead. And from there, Yankees offense disappeared. Vanished. I've seen ghosts with more presence. Trent Grisham did get on base a couple of times with walks, but overall, this lineup looked completely lost. And the defense didn't help either. 2 errors. So yeah, you scored 2 runs in the first and still lose? That's kind of game that makes fans turn off the TV off early. And not trying to be rude here, but you're not winning games if you score runs in the first inning, but cannot score runs in any other inning. If you can score runs in the first inning, you should be able to score runs in any inning. And this is going for every team in the MLB. You could be the Dodgers and score runs early in the game. It doesn't matter. They can take the lead with the swing of the bat. It doesn't matter how. And so, yeah. You just need to have score runs, and hopefully you can win. So now time for the Red Sox versus Brewers. Red Sox win 5-0. Now Boston, and this is how you bounce back. They shut out the Brewers 5-0. And this game belongs to one man, Sonny Gray. He goes 6 1/3 innings, gives up just 3 hits, and completely shuts them down. Milwaukee has had no answers. I'm talking weak contact, ground balls, just nothing. And Boston took advantage early. A 3-run 3rd inning, thanks to walks and clutch hitting. Trevor Story drove in 2 runs. Willie Abreu and Cedar Rafael both had multi-hit games. This was clean. This was controlled. This is what Boston should look like. But let's be honest, there were still few swings where I was like, yeah, that's not making the highlight reel. Boston started off the season really bad, 2-8, but they've won the last 2 games, and so you got to give it up for them. Like they're playing pretty good teams, and to shut out a really good team is very impressive. See, the Orioles and the Yankees couldn't shut them out. They probably couldn't shut out a single team. Orioles last year couldn't shut out a single team. But because of their pitching injuries and because they had to call up young pitchers who had all the pressure on them to keep up. But let's move on to the Rays versus Cubs. Now, the Rays lose 6-2. This was a rough one. And the biggest issue, offense. They just couldn't string anything together. They'd get a runner on and then immediately shut it down. It honestly felt like they were speed running outs. And the Cubs, they took advantage all game. Consistent hitting, pressure, and they kept adding on. And when you're giving up runs and not scoring, you're not winning. This was one of those games where nothing clicks. And the Rays, they have a lot of good hitters. And one of my favorite hitters, Cedric Mullins, used to be on the Orioles, but now he's on the Rays. He's an amazing player. I'm just going to say that. Yandy Diaz, he's an amazing player. Wander Franco, before he had, you-know-what issues, he was outstanding. If he never did that, this team is, making it to the World Series every year. Because that's how good he is, and that's how much he contributes to this team. Jonathan Aranda, he's amazing too. You have all these players who are so good. So, the Rays just need to take advantage of this. The Yankees need to take advantage of their good players. The Orioles need to take advantage of this. The Red Sox need to take advantage of this. The Blue Jays need to take advantage of this. It's crazy. They all need to take advantage. This is one of the toughest teams in the AL East, and you cannot exaggerate this, that the Blue Jays made it to the World Series last year after everyone in the preseason said, Blue Jays are not a contender. And then you look at them now. You look at their before they played, you think, no, they're not making it. And then you see them after, and you see the stats, you're like, why did I ever doubt them? That's the one thing. But now let's move on to Blue Jays versus Dodgers. And finally, the Blue Jays, and this one was a really good game. They beat the Dodgers 4-3, and the key moment, late in the game, Toronto takes advantage of a throwing error to score the go-ahead run. That's the difference, capitalizing on mistakes. because both teams are going back and forth all night, and even Shohei Ohtani stayed hot, extending his on-base streak to 43 games. But Toronto did just enough clutch hitting, decent pitching, and just enough to close it out. But let's be for real, this team is still inconsistent. One inning, they looked elite. Next inning, they just met in the parking lot. But I'm not trying to be mean and criticize any teams. That's the last thing I want to do. It's just these are just what they're actually supposed to be. But I'm going to be nice, and this is the I don't have any more recap, so I'm going to tell some jokes. These might not be that funny, but I'm going to do my best. So, why did the baseball team hire a detective? Let you have a few seconds to think about this. They kept getting caught stealing bases. Why are baseball players such bad bowlers? They're afraid of the strike zone. Why did the pitcher go to art school? He wanted to learn how to draw walks. Why don't baseball players ever get locked out of their house? They always know how to slide into home. Here's some player roast jokes. That batter swings so late, he's still trying to hit last season's fastball. That pitcher throws so low, the batter checked Instagram mid-pitch. His batting average is so low, even his video game character benched him. Okay, that one's kind of crazy, though. I didn't make that up. I just found this, but that's a crazy joke right there. He struck out so many times the ump started charging him rent. That's crazy. Here's some umpire and game jokes. The umpire's eyesight is so bad, he calls strikes based on vibes. That call was so bad, even the foul pole disagreed. The ump missed that call so badly, it entered the transfer portal. Here's some team and fan jokes. My team rebuilds more than a Lego set. We don't lose games, we just run out of innings. Being a fan of my team builds character, mostly patience. Our bullpen isn't a bullpen, it's a horror movie. Smart/wordplay jokes. Why was Cinderella so bad at baseball? She ran away from the ball. Why did the baseball player glove break up with the ball? Because it needed space. Why did the baseball player bring a ladder to the game? To reach high pitches. Why is baseball the coolest sport? Because all of the fans. Here's some savage one-liners. The guy couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. His swing has more holes than a waffle. That pitch was so wild, it applied for wildlife protection. Bro swung so hard, he unlocked a new camera angle. That's crazy. Here's some more savage. This pitcher's out here throwing batting practice. Unfortunately, it's starting the actual game. That swing had more holes than Swiss cheese, and somehow less flavor. Bro struck out so bad, the bat asked for a trade. That fastball wasn't fast. It needed a GPS just to find the plate. He didn't miss that pitch. The pitch avoided him. Here's some pitcher's roast. This dude, ERA, is climbing faster than my screen time, and that's high. He's locating pitches like he's blindfolded playing darts. That pitch was so far outside, it needed a passport. Even the catcher didn't know where the ball was going. He's not pitching. He's conducting a science experiment. Here's some hitter roasts. Oh, actually, that's enough time. See ya. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. I will post reels every day. And check out all the reels. They're getting really popular. I hope you guys like them all. Hope you like this recap, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.